Hi, my name is Sarah Waldner. I'm the Senior Product Manager for the Monitor Stage Health Group. This is the 13.1 kickoff call. So in 13.1 for the health group, we are still focused on progressing alert management. In 13.0, we will have matured it to minimal and we are moving into our viable plan. We've got a handful of themes for this milestone that I'm going to dive into. First and foremost, we're developing an identification scheme for alerts that people are sending to GitLab from their external services so that we can do alert deduplication. Identifying and deduplicating alerts is really important for the triage workflow. Imagine you're triaging a list of alerts and, there's an alert storm going on. You don't want specific items for each event of an alert that comes in. You want GitLab to identify those as all of the same alert and provide you one view for that alert. So there's two different ways that you can identify an alert. One is we can give the user the ability to define the schema themselves. So that's part of 13.1 is we're enabling the user to set what we are calling the fingerprint attribute on an alert, where they map whatever value they want from their external alert to that fingerprint field. And whenever an alert comes in with that fingerprint, we are grouping them together. The other way to do this is to create that identification schema ourselves. So the GitLab definition is going to be a concatenation of different fields within the alert payload. We will default to this identification schema in the scenarios where a user has not defined a value for that fingerprint field. The next handful of features that we're working on for alert management are all focused around streamlining the triage of alerts in a list and then adding functionality and features to the detailed view of those alerts. All of this is to help a responder to quickly understand and find important information when they're working in a firefight. So first up is organizing alerts by status in a list view. So just checking out the design for that, here we've got our alerts list within GitLab. When someone starts working on an alert, a very common thing for them to do is to change the status of it to acknowledge. This indicates to other people on the team that this alert is in fact being investigated and someone is owning it. Once that's been moved to acknowledge, someone's identified a problem and remediated it, or perhaps the system stabilizes by itself, that alert is going to change to resolved. That's another state for an alert that we're going to support in GitLab. Each of these states represents something different that a responder needs to do. This is a very common way to manage and organize alerts. So we are adding tabs at the top of the alert list for people to quickly access all alerts for their systems and applications that are in those states. Next up is part of the alert detail page. So you get to the alert detail page by clicking on an alert in the list view. We're adding a sidebar whereby you can edit different alert attributes. So we're starting with status, and we're also adding the ability to assign an alert, and all of this is going to live in this new UI component on the right-hand side. So following on this issue, in 13.1, we are adding the ability to assign alerts. We're going to use the same component as we do for issues, and it's going to look like this. So this is an important part of the triage workflow. Imagine I'm an incident commander. I'm triaging my alert list. I have new items that have come in at the top. I'm able to assign this to different team members so that they know they're responsible for investigation. And me, as the incident commander, I can assign a handful of different alerts to different team members to make sure I have full coverage of different problems that may be happening in the services that I'm responsible for. A common pattern within GitLab with merge requests or incidents, when something is assigned to you, we create a GitLab to-do for that individual. So as we are adding the ability to assign alerts, we are also going to be adding GitLab to-dos for alerts. So when you've been assigned an alert, we create a GitLab to-do for you so that you are notified using to-do, a very common notification pattern in GitLab, and we can further integrate alert management into the common patterns that our users of GitLab are used to. And then last but not least, in 13.1, we'll be sending alerts to Slack. So we have a Slack notification service that you can turn on and activate for any GitLab project. There's a handful of development pipeline events that you can send to Slack. You can send issues to Slack, creation, updates, deletions. Slack is often used as a central communication platform where users are notified of a bunch of different events, systems applications monitoring that they're responsible for. So we're going to follow that same pattern that GitLab has within their Slack notification service and add alerts to it. That's it for the Monitor Health group in 13.1. Thank you.